The influence of vitamin B12 extends far beyond its conventional reputation as a blood-building or nerve-protective nutrient. Emerging evidence points to a more integrative role for B12, one that touches the complex, finely tuned world of hormone regulation. Although this connection remains under-discussed in mainstream health discourse, B12's involvement in endocrine balance, particularly in the adrenal and sex hormone axes, may hold important keys to understanding subtle shifts in mood, energy, and reproductive health. It is not a hormone itself, but rather a biochemical facilitator, one whose presence or absence can significantly tilt the hormonal equilibrium. At the core of B12's hormone-related actions lies its role in methylation, a fundamental cellular process that governs gene expression, detoxification, neurotransmitter synthesis, and yes, hormone metabolism. B12-dependent methylation is essential for producing acetylmethionine, SAMe, a compound that donates methyl groups to various biochemical reactions, including those that regulate the conversion and clearance of hormones like estrogen. Without sufficient B12, this methylation slows down, leading to a buildup of unmetabolized estrogen, or imbalanced estrogen metabolites, some of which may promote mood instability, inflammation, or even heightened risk for hormone-sensitive conditions. In this way, B12 indirectly supports estrogen balance not by increasing or decreasing hormone production, but by ensuring its proper transformation and clearance from the body. This detoxification aspect becomes especially relevant in women who experience estrogen-dominant symptoms, premenstrual mood swings, bloating, breast tenderness, or irregular cycles. When B12 is insufficient, the liver's capacity to methylate and excrete estrogen efficiently is compromised. This can result in prolonged estrogen activity in the bloodstream and a skewed ratio of estrogen to progesterone. Correcting this imbalance doesn't necessarily require hormonal therapy. It may begin with restoring methylation through adequate B12, along with cofactors like folate and B6, thereby enhancing the body's natural hormone processing efficiency. Beyond estrogen metabolism, B12 is also tied to the health of the adrenal glands, which produce stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. The adrenal glands are among the most metabolically active tissues in the body, and their hormone output relies heavily on B12-driven pathways. Methylation regulates the synthesis and breakdown of catecholamines, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine, which influence the fight-or-flight response, mood regulation, and energy levels. Chronic B12 deficiency may dysregulate this system, contributing to symptoms of adrenal fatigue, low stamina, anxiety, poor stress tolerance, and brain fog. Restoring B12 levels can help support adrenal resilience by optimizing neurotransmitter and hormonal output at the metabolic level. Men may also feel the hormonal ripple effects of B12 through testosterone balance. Low B12 has been associated in some observational studies with decreased testosterone levels, likely due to its influence on overall metabolic health and mitochondrial function. B12 plays a critical role in cellular energy production, which is vital for the function of the Leydig cells in the testes, cells responsible for producing testosterone. While B12 is not a direct testosterone booster, it helps ensure the conditions under which healthy testosterone synthesis can occur. In men experiencing fatigue, low libido, or mood fluctuations, B12 assessment is a low-risk, high-reward step that is often missed. Mood disturbances, one of the most visible reflections of hormonal imbalance, are also frequently rooted in neurotransmitter dysregulation, which again ties back to B12. The synthesis of serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine all depend on methylation and the availability of SAMe. This neuroendocrine interface, where brain chemistry meets hormone signaling, is especially vulnerable to subtle nutrient deficiencies. Women in perimenopause, men under chronic stress, or individuals recovering from long-term hormonal birth control use may experience amplified mood symptoms due in part to reduced methylation efficiency. Replenishing B12 can act like a biochemical tuning fork, gently recalibrating the body's mood-regulating systems without introducing foreign hormones. In all of this, it's essential to recognize that B12 doesn't act in isolation. Its hormone-supportive effects depend on a well-nourished methylation cycle and adequate intake of folate, B6, magnesium, and choline. However, without B12, this entire network slows, and hormonal imbalances that might otherwise be transient can become chronic. Moreover, B12 absorption itself can be compromised by age, gut dysfunction, medications like metformin and proton pump inhibitors, and even stress, factors that are, ironically, often present in those with hormone imbalances to begin with. In this light, B12 becomes more than just a support for red blood cells or nerves, it becomes a foundational nutrient for hormonal harmony. It supports the detoxification of excess hormones, enables neurotransmitter synthesis, enhances adrenal stability, and promotes cellular energy, all of which converge to regulate mood, libido, menstrual regularity, and overall vitality. For those experiencing hormonal symptoms that defy clear diagnosis or persist despite treatment, a closer look at B12 status may offer answers hidden beneath the surface, subtle, biochemical, and remarkably fixable.